Meet Sixiron, my brand new RuneScape-inspired solo Ironman character in Final Fantasy XI. Like with RuneScape's Ironman challenges, I'll be playing with heavy restrictions on how I can interact with other players. There are 4 main rules. No partying with other players, no trading with other players, no buying or selling items on the auction house or player bazaars, and no using a gold world pass. This means that every item that I need for quests, missions, upgrades, and everything else, I have to get myself. If it's an item that's only obtainable from crafting, I'll just have to level that craft. I'll also be very limited on gil without the use of the auction house. There will even be some content that I just won't be able to access. I have planned a fair amount of early and mid-game goals, and will be researching endgame content as we go to see what's obtainable. For now though, we're at the beginning of Sixiron's journey through Vana'diel, starting in the Republic of Bastok as a thief. It'll be a good while until these restrictions have any effect on her, but when they do, there will only be pain and grind ahead. And speaking of what's ahead, we will not be listening to this guy's advice. Partying? Not for me. Oh, and scratch that Bastok thing. Apparently, we started in Lastok. Now, I know what you're thinking, but V, all you're going to be doing for the first 100 hours are grinding levels and missions that aren't even challenging at all. How are you going to make content out of that? And the short answer is that I won't. I want to make these videos as a diary for Sixiron's adventure, little snippets of what I did each day or each week, whether that was easy stuff, hard stuff, or the exact same thing every day. I want to be able to look back and see just how much progress I've made. To do that, I plan on making a brief summary of some notable events and narrate about what I'm doing or what my plans are. After completing a bunch of introductory cutscenes and unlocking records of eminence, it was time to head out and actually play the game. I started by going to North Gustaberg to kill some worms and get a few levels under my belt. Once I got back to town, there are a few more things to unlock, like Rhapsodies of Vana'diel and my first trust, Naji. After Naji, I unlocked Cornelia and Val, followed by Mealy, Tenzin, Adelheid, and Joachim. Now that I had trusts unlocked, it was time to take them out and see just how strong they were. Turns out, they're very strong. I set my sights on the rock lizards to the west, hoping to find my first notorious monster, Leaping Lizzie. I also took the time to unlock any brown chests that spawned to try to earn a little gil. 40 minutes later, I was level 18 when I saw my first Lizzie. Unfortunately, I think Sixiron's treasure hunter is broke or something. Not wanting to stall progression for too long, I set off towards Selbina. On the way, I killed some rams in the Kronstadt Highlands and got to level 21 in the Valken Dune. Once I got to Selbina, I was immediately told to head back to Kronstadt and kill some bees to get 3 bee pollen. With those, I got an introductory letter from Gilgamesh, and with that, I unlocked my sub-job. Sub-job in hand, it was time to head to Norg, where a mysterious girl told us about our dire future, and then disappeared into thin air. Not wanting to think about my dire future, I went back to Bastok to work on some missions. After getting lost in Zero Mines to pick up the report, I decided to take a more convenient way home. I then met the man with the biggest mouth you've ever seen. He asked me to test the waters in Dangraf Wadi. I wasn't sure why he told me to keep the tester in my back pocket until I found myself atop a giant bidet. The tester then turned as red as my bottom, and he seemed happy about that. For my last rank 1 mission, I was tasked with going into the Palboro mines to cull some quadabs and to bring back their pedages. During my killing spree, I ended up finding a treasure chest key and got the flame boomerang from the chest. After completing my mission, I was rewarded with rank 2 in Bastog. After achieving rank 2, I took a moment to go talk to the Greeter Moogle and pick up a Far East Hearth with my login points. Placing that in my Mog House gave me the Mog Handsmith skill gain to help with my very underleveled combat skills. While editing the earlier parts of this video, I went back to Leaping Lizzie to test my luck. I accidentally muted the game while I was trying to multitask, but after 4 kills, I was the proud owner of a pair of bounding boots. After Lizzie, I get 2 Valkyrie Emperor kills, but unfortunately, no hairpin. Once I had the previous clips all strung together, I changed jobs to Warrior to get a few more levels for my sub job. I got a pair of hot pants from the brown chest, and got to level 28. Back in Bastog, I continued my missions. I met with the President and was assigned to be an emissary to the other 2 starting nations, Sandoria and Windhurst. As emissary, I was to gather information about the 2 nations while assisting them with whatever tasks needed to be done. I first went to Sandoria, where I ended up meeting Gilgamesh's daughter, Lion. Gilgamesh had asked me to find her, but she was insistent that we finish the mission first and then meet her at one of the crags. For my task here, I was assigned to head into the Gelsba outpost and slay the Orcish warchief, Vatgit. To say I was overleveled for this would be a bit of an understatement. While I was here, I decided to head to the Horleus Peaks to grab the home point warp. On the way there, I found the Ashmaker Goblet. The Hermit Wand I got could be useful someday if I get desperate for spell interruption rate down. With the orcs taken care of, my next task was in Windhurst. To get there, I had to take the boat from Selbina to Mara. During the trip, the boat was boarded by a bunch of skeleton summoning pirates that had to be taken care of. When I arrived in Windhurst, I was greeted with another introductory cutscene, this time for a Shantoto Ascension. My mission task here was to go to Gideus, home of the Yagudo, and investigate a mysterious beast that had been threatening them. This beast was the Searcher. Upon being confronted, he summoned a black dragon, but was no match for Sixiron. Before vanishing, the Searcher told us of his plans to revive the Shadow Lord. I reported my findings back in Bastog, and for my service, I was awarded rank 3. My next mission had me culling quadabs again, but this time in Beidou. While I was here, I stole a quadabs too for my first artifact quest, and then killed 2 NMs deeper in to prepare for mission 4-1. Since I was already in the Pashao Marshlands, I decided now was the time to make my first trip to Juneau. I was greeted with yet another introductory cutscene, this time for a crystalline prophecy. I then visited Joachim in Port Juneau to start the Abyssia story and to get my Traverser Stones building up. I didn't hang around Juneau for very long before heading out to the Saramu campaign. I killed some corals for their meat, another item I needed for 4-1. Then I headed to Marifatad Mountains to farm some gospet grass. I went to the Sanctuary of Zita thinking I would just grab the survival guide at the outpost, but the monsters there were a surprisingly good level for me to get some XP. Now that I had all the gospet grass I needed, I could finally get my chocobo license. I rode out to the Crag of Hala to meet with Lion. She told me about the dreams she was having about the future. We agreed to start our investigation in Quiffum Island. While I was in the area, I couldn't help but test out my new and improved treasure hunter by relieving the Emperor of his hairpin. Feeling lucky, I then ran over to the maze of Shakarami to see if Argus was up. Unfortunately, it was Leech King's turn, but I did end up with a Bloodbead earring and a Carbuncle's ruby. With both of my missions pointing me to Quiffum Island, I went there to continue my investigation with Lion. She immediately got sucked into the portal, and I had to deal with the giant monkey. Also, Iroha came back. With the monkey defeated, Iroha and I went into the portal, only to find Lion unharmed and with a companion. This strange dimension, known as Esha Zita, seemed to be having a profound effect on Lion, so we decided to leave and meet back up at the crag again. Lion would have to wait though, as I still had some things to do here, like enter the Delkvut's tower and begin Chains of Promethea. I had some business inside the tower as well, like getting my Delkvut key and finding the Bastokan ambassador. Back at the Crag of Hala, Lion and Iroha tell me that I will have to defeat the Shadow Lord in order to keep the timeline on the right track. While I'm not quite ready for that yet, I'll add it to the list. Back in Juneau, I received a mysterious amulet from a strange boy, and then learned about some strange occurrences happening at the shattered telepoints of Hala, Dem, and Mia. Before ending my day, I headed back to the maze of Shakrami in hopes of finding Argus. This time, he was here, and was nice enough to drop his peacock amulet. So here's how Sixiron's doing at the end of her second day in Vana'diel. She got the bounding boots from Leaping Lizzie, hot pants from Valkram Dunes, brigandine armor from Beidou, the Empress hairpin from the Valkram Emperor, and a peacock amulet from Argus. She even ended up with 42k gil from all the items she's been selling. Next time, we'll be continuing her missions, increasing her level cap, and starting her artifact quests. Until then, take care.